Javid, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm happy to be talking with you. 11 days out, man. How are you feeling?
I feel great, man. Like the weight's on point. Sparring was on point. This whole fight camp, just been doing what I usually do. I'm always training, so I'm happy that I've managed to get a fight, a quicker turnaround that I would have. Because the last couple times it's been like 6 months in between the fights. And that was kind of annoying me, so this time it's a quicker turnaround. I'm happy about that.
Yeah, so it's been 4 months since your fight. Is that a perfect kind of turnaround for you?
Yeah, around that, especially because I got cut in that fight in the first minute with the head clash with Gravely. So I obviously for the first few weeks I didn't do much, and then yeah, it's perfect. It's a good timeline. 4 months, 3 months, 4 months.
Last year was a big year for you, very very special year for you, man. Made your debut. Got a big win over Tony Gravely. How would you rate your 2022?
It was good. Like I was so getting 2 fights in that year, especially for the type of shape I was in and how often I was training. I wasn't really happy with the number of fights I got. But with that being said, the caliber of opponents, I was happier with. And that's why even like when I got announced to fight Trevin and announced to fight Tony Gravely, everyone was like, oh, you just go in, like there's no tune-up fights for you, you're just kind of doing your thing, straight to it. I was like, well, I'm not getting the number of fights and this, like the amount of fights that I would like. So this is the way to kind of like climb up the ladder a little bit faster,
Your brother also made it to the promotion,
Yeah.
man. How's that feel?
That's great, man. It's where we belong, We are one of the best fighters on the planet, and UFC is the best promotion on the planet, so it's where we belong.
I asked him after his Contender Series fight if he wants to fight on the same card as you later on. Like, what's your thought on this? Like, do you want to be on the same card as him, or do you like the cornering aspect of it?
I don't mind. We're different fighters. Like we are. Like ideally, yes, I would love for him to be in my corner, and he would love for me to be in his corner. But I wasn't in his corner for the Contender Series fight, and it worked out fine. I wasn't for his corner. For his fight in Spain, he wasn't in my UFC debut, So like, and we still get the work done, We are born fighters. We fight wherever, So, but with that being said, like weight cuts and all of that get a little bit hard, Now it's both of us doing weight cuts, Usually it takes the load off a little bit when one guy is not fighting, so he can do running around and do all these like little stuff. But the advantage is the fight camp. We get to train together, So there's pros and cons. Ideally, not. But if the money's right, why not? If it's a big fight, I'm not gonna say no. I don't want to fight on the same day as my brother,
Yeah, no, absolutely, man. Awesome. Well, you're kicking off the year first, the first fight card of the year against very fun. He's a very very fun Brazilian, Mateus.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on the matchup?
So he's an undefeated guy, So I'm undefeated, he's undefeated, So in MMA we don't see it as often as we do in boxing, and I'm a big boxing fan. And somebody's has to go,
Mm-hmm.
That's what I like.
Absolutely. There was a little bit of pushback when the fight got announced that people thought that you deserved someone a lot better, a lot bigger. Yeah. What were your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I agree, but that wasn't up to me. I agree with you guys. Please do whatever. Get me bigger fights if you can, But I couldn't get another fight, and Ramadan's coming up. The thing about Ramadan is when it sneaks up on you, And I don't fight in Ramadan, so I didn't want to put anything like too late, and what if the fight like doesn't happen or whatever, and then I'm out for and then after Ramadan I'm gonna need a whole camp again. So that's like 10 months without fighting for no reason, I couldn't afford to do that. So January made sense, and he was the guy to step up, and why not?
You said off camera that there's not a lot of film on this guy, right?
Yeah.
But the film that you've seen, like he comes to finish, you come to finish, so it should be a fun fight on paper.
Definitely. Listen, this is why I'm not gonna overlook this guy. He comes from a great fight camp in shoot box from Charles Oliveira's team. He's undefeated. There's no blueprint to winning. He may have lost rounds here and there, and like there's stuff, but he's still a young fighter. You know how these young fighters are. I'm a different fighter from fight to fight. So I'm sure he is too. So that's what we're preparing for. So make no mistake about it. His name isn't that big, but he's undefeated. He got a big win off the Contender Series, and why not? I want to be that guy, you know. Just let's test him, you know, because usually people are the one like waiting in line to test me sometimes, you know. Now that I've shown that I'm pretty legit, you know, people are not so eager to fight me no more, you know.
No, absolutely, absolutely. So with all that being said, man, well, firstly, you know, you train with nothing but killers. So who were some of your main training partners for this camp?
Okay, so it's so hard because I train. It's so hard to choose because like I'm in Xtreme Couture, you know. There's so many big names out here. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to say all of them, but also I also train at BKMMA with Dewey Cooper, and I've been sparring Timmy, Twilight Timmy. He's been great rounds because he's a strong fighter, you know, come forward type fighter, and I feel like that's what Mateus is going to bring. I've been sparring like Ige because we both fighting in January 14 for Kobe, Fair all the time, then grappling rounds with Patchy and just all the guys, you know. My friend Amir Albazi. There's too many names I can't say. It's just this is a great environment being in Vegas. You know, you're never short of any work.
You are fighting with Dan Ige, you're fighting with Puna, so it's Xtreme Couture is going to war again.
Yes, yes.
How does that make you feel?
Great, you know, like it's always good to shine on the night or share the battlefield with your training partners, you know, because we all work so hard. You know, I see them getting in their rounds, I'm getting the rounds in, and you know, it just makes the camp a little bit more enjoyable knowing that other people know how you feel, you know, at that exact moment, because Dan's cutting weight, I'm cutting weight, you know, Puna's cutting weight, we're all training together and stuff, you know, like in the same room. So it's all good.
At the end of the day, next Saturday night, how do you get your hand raised?
I'm expecting a third round finish, something like that, or a second round finish. The first round always like it's going to be a feeling out type process. Like he's going to kind of, I need to see what he has, you know, because there's not that much footage on him, and especially he's young, you know. So like I said, he's going to be improving from fight to fight. I'm sure he's going to try and want to figure me out in round one also. So, and in round two and round three we get cracking.
And finally, what do you want your year to look like? What are your goals this year?
This year, like I said, I still want to remain undefeated, but more than that, I want to make sure I break into the top 10 at least. You know, top 10 or top 15 for sure. I'd be fuming if I'm not in the top 15, especially if I've been winning. But top 10, and also just get at least 3 fights in this year. I would say that would be my number one goal. Get 3 fights in this year and remain undefeated.
Would you like to turn around on that London card in March?
I don't want to look ahead of this guy. I want to make sure I give him full respect. But if the fight goes well and everything's easy and everything's just right, of course we'll fight in March. No problem. That's
awesome.
Home. That's home for me, you know, London.
Absolutely, dude. Awesome. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. If you want to plug your social media, plug any sponsors you might have, and if you want to thank anybody, the floor is yours.
Just mainly thank my training partners, Xtreme Couture and BKMMA, with Dewey Cooper, my coaches Jake Shields, and just all the staff here at Xtreme Couture, all the training partners, and yeah, that's it.
Make sure to subscribe to the LowKick MMA YouTube channel for all the latest news, event previews, and interviews with some of the biggest stars in MMA.